Sorry? Edelgard and Hubert have been busier than usual. Constantly coming and going, in and out of Garreg Mach. Perhaps they are doing something in the Empire. As the legitimate heir of the Eyre family, I have not heard anything about it. But if it were significant, I am sure my father would have told me. How could you... Oh! How could you pop... 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 How could you pop...
Let me tell you.
That's so.
Say, in town earlier, there seemed to be more people around than usual. Is there some festival this month that I'm forgetting about?
What? Hurry up and cage the wild boar. Look, he's losing his grip. Even in his swordplay, he's getting sloppy. If he keeps progressing like this, he's going to get himself killed. Kranya, Solon, they're dead, but we still have a glut of enemies. We still have to take down the Death Knight and the Flame Emperor. Our next battle is fast approaching. I'm ready for it. I know nothing about... I know nothing about... That's mine.
Professor, please. If he hears it from you that he needs to rest, perhaps His Highness will listen.
He's exaggerating. He thinks my color is off and that rest will cure all. I have a headache, but that's just from lack of sleep. It's not going to stop me from completing this month's mission.
I must insist.
Who do you think you are? I can take care of myself to do. In any case, we won't let you down this month, Professor. You can rely on us.
That is Professor.
Oh. Lost item. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Hi.
Need something. See you again soon.
Professor! Sorry, this'll take some getting used to. Your hair and eye color are completely different. You just don't look like yourself anymore. Of course, you're right. I'm just being silly as usual. A lost eye... Oh! A lost eye... A lost eye... A lost eye... A lost eye... Oh!
Okay, I've decided on the composition. That's right, the composition for my next paint. Wait, Professor? How long have you been standing there? You haven't been watching me, have you? No, I misspoke. Did I say painting? I meant to say, Well, I've thought for a while that it might be nice to paint the scenery here. The contours of that tree, set against the stark shapes of the faraway peaks. Of course, I only paint after I've finished my chores. I'd never put my art before my responsibilities. My studies are paramount. I shall always uphold my duties as a student of the Officers' Academy. Whereas art is a hobby of mine, you might say. Everyone has hobbies, right? I'm sure you have one. Oh, well, perhaps it's different for you, Professor. But it's perfectly normal for people to have hobbies. Reading, for instance, or fishing, or taking midday naps. For me, it's making art. Hobbies are healthy. They're a good way of relieving stress. You might consider taking up a hobby, Professor. Anything to clear your mind. Think about it. It's much easier to focus if you're feeling refreshed. There isn't a rule against hobbies, is there? If you tell me to stop, I'll stop. I shall never again put brush to canvas. Really? It's okay for me to paint? Well, I mean, if you're sure. But really, it's nothing more than a little diversion, a frivolous pastime. I think I ought to go back to my quarters now, if it's all the same to you.
I always knew there was something special about you, but you've only gotten more and more extraordinary the longer I've known you. That transformation was just the beginning, wasn't it? I have a feeling that things will only grow more dire from here on out.
Well, I'll be.
Excuse me. You haven't a thing to worry about. You have been gifted the power of the goddess. Furthermore, you have overcome the death of your father, Geralt, and you have destroyed countless of our wicked foes. I am proud, so very proud of who you have become. Once we finish the ritual at the Holy Mausoleum, all will be well.
Ah, it is you. I am sorry, but I have a lot on my mind. I would prefer to be alone right now.
Hey, you. Professor. Oh, Professor, I am so happy. Your new hair and eye color suit you well. We make quite the pair. But recently, I sense that things are a bit strained between Lady Rhea and my brother. She wants to do something at the Holy Tomb. I do not know what, but... Whenever it has concluded, I hope they will return to their friendship, as it has always been.
Captain. Oh, Professor. How long have you been standing there? I didn't see you. I was just sorting through Captain Gerald's belongings. I haven't made much progress. I keep finding things that bring back memories. Clearing out this room of his belongings again, it's not easy.
Professor, are you positive? Really? Your appearance is due to the influence of the Crest of Flames? Intriguing. Unfortunately, I have found no record of Nemesis's hair and eye color ever changing. However, if that transformation was brought on in part by the power of the Crest, that would be most, well, I suppose interesting is too small a word. Still, it would be an absolutely exceptional discovery. To know for certain, we must investigate further. So, close off. What? A full physical is in order, yes? We need to know if this transformation affected you adversely. Don't worry, it won't hurt a bit.
To be honest, I cannot keep up with all that's been happening recently. Monica was actually Kranya. Tomas was actually Solon. Who were these people? What about you, Professor? You were a true ally, yes? Not the most convincing answer you could have given. Still, I simply must take you at your word.
That reminds, all things considered, this year has been rather terrible. As far as the students are concerned, next month is the last one of the school year. Next month, we will hold the graduation ceremony, though it'll be an understandably subdued affair. This month, we ask that you carry out your duties as best you can, to ensure that our students remain calm.
Hey, you.
Hey. The Holy Tomb, huh? I've worked here for years, and this is the first I've heard of it. I mean, it does make some sense. Sort of. Something about it is still weird. I understand now why they'd build the monastery in the mountainous center of Fodlan. Although, when the monastery was built, the Kingdom and Alliance weren't even around yet. But look how cleverly it was placed right in the middle of the Empire, Kingdom, and Alliance. That's weird, right?
Recently, Professor, I feel as though you've been a bit distant. It's like you're sort of floating above the clouds, separate from other people. And like you've got no interest at all in ever coming back down. How can I help? Hey, don't worry. I thought maybe I'd ask and see what you'd say. How did... I'm sorry. Hey there, Professor. I was thinking it might be nice to join your class. I'm not unhappy where I am, but I was just thinking that maybe if I was with you, well, I might learn even more. You're the kind of guy a gal could pay attention to, you know? Oh yeah? That's great! I'm looking forward to spending more time with you, Professor.
Right.
Well, hello, Professor. You came all the way to my room to... Oh. You've brought the materials from your lecture I slept through. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's rare for a nice professor like you to be so strict. Please, Professor, you must understand how difficult it is for me to fight the demon of drowsiness. Just talking about it makes me sleepy. It's not that I don't have enough motivation. The problem is that I don't have any at all. Not for useless things. I must compliment you, though. By this point in most conversations, I'm bored senseless. But I'm enjoying this. I wonder why. What is it about you that fascinates me so? You're definitely a strange one. In truth, your very nature is odd. You're definitely not a commoner, but you don't seem like a noble either. You're something else. And yet you can wield one of the hero's relics. You're like a hero in some silly legend. Or you could be a villain who came here to enact some evil plot. That wouldn't surprise me either. Hey, Professor, will you ever allow me to investigate that crest of yours? It won't hurt a bit, I swear. I'm sure I could find out all sorts of things about your crest. And you. Of course, I'm not as experienced with such research as Professor Hanneman, but I do what I can. Someday, I think I might like to become a crest scholar. You never know. Oh, don't trouble yourself. I didn't mean now. I've got a lot of other research I'm working on at the moment. I tend to start a project, get bored, and then leave it be. I might be ready to investigate your crest soon. I'd have to tidy up a bit first. On that note, good night, Professor. You there!
Professor! Hey, Professor! What are you doing daydreaming in a place like this? It's lucky. As spacey as you are, you're always reliable in a pinch. Sure. Then what were you thinking about? It's hard to tell what's going on in that skull of yours. Your expression is always blank. Come on, smile. I was just playing around. Don't get mad. By the way, in the next battle, may I focus on logistical support? off the battlefield. There's no use having a weakling like me in the middle of the action, and it would bring down morale if I were killed. Have you even seen me, Professor? Look at these noodly little arms! I should be cheering everyone on from the sidelines. It'll certainly improve the boys' morale, don't you think? Because even if I do, I won't be of any help. My big brother is the type of person who's supposed to be on the battlefield. For me, it's just a waste of energy. It's pointless. Everyone's cut out for something different. The right person for the right task, you know? Please, Professor. Keep me off the battlefield, and maybe I won't tell everyone you were daydreaming.
Oh.
What?
Professor. Professor, I am not understanding where the meaning is here. When and how is this expression used? I fell for it. No, that is what you say when you meet the mate of your soul. The expression is, I fell for it. Thank you, Professor. I finally have understanding. Can I ask you about another word? The one that is written here. Is something on my face? I am without much time to study. I must use my time with wisdom. Is that really what you are thinking? Or maybe you have curiosity about the mark on my face? You are already knowing that I am from Brigid. This is a mark from Brigid. It is a prayer to the forest spirits, a prayer to be protected. Hunters ask the forest spirits to have safe and bountiful hunting. There are many spirits in Brigid. I have more marks on my arms and back. They are prayers for my family's health and triumph. Are you wanting to see them? That gives me happiness. If there is ever the chance, you will see them. I have much gratitude for you, Professor. You always listen with patience. I can read and understand the language of Foglin, but to speak it gives me difficulty. I hope I will keep having your support, and I will give you my support too, with my whole heart. I have things that I cannot fail to accomplish. Yes, we will keep walking forward. Right.
What? You're so... Hey, Professor. No?
Professor. I am sorry to make you tag along with my shopping trip like this. You are very kind to offer your help, even though this is my duty. In return, I will gladly come to your aid when you need it someday, though I fear there may not be so many things I can help you with. Fishing? Of course, I would be happy to. I recall hearing that Captain Gerald was quite the fisherman. Is that true? You made a living as a mercenary under Captain Gerald's guidance. As a comparatively new member of the Knights of Seros,
I was not so familiar with his past exploits. Yet clashing swords with him, even just a handful of times, was enough for his abilities to astound me. You, as one trained by him, must have those same great talents. I have devoted my life to the path of a knight, yet I find your mercenary experience lends your blade
Wait up! Catch me if you can. Come on, this way. This way.
It is good to see children able to play and to smile. Was I smiling? Please, forget you saw that. I do not have the right to such pleasures. Indeed, for those we have lost will never be able to smile again. I am sorry. I did not mean to trouble you with such talk. Come, let us head back.
That was... I'm... You're... Thank you. I'm all... I'm...
What? Let's...
Just... No matter... Just...
There's something I'd like... that might work.
Professor.
It is a...
Yeah.
Amazing.
I've grasped it. How...
I'm beginning to
Not as hard as I...
Perhaps I'll...
Ah, perfection. Oh, these tea leaves are just divine. Quite the impressive selection, if I do say so myself.
Lawrence, so this is where you are.
Hello, Cyril. Lured here by the exquisite aroma, were you?
No. I've got a thing for you. It's a letter. All right, well, don't say I didn't deliver it.
A letter for me, is it? Curious. Let's see what we have here. Hello, Professor. It is a rare correspondence from my father, as it happens. Some difficulty with Acheron, apparently. My father wishes me to return home and settle it. A young lord whose domain borders my father's. Do you know of the Great Bridge of Myrden? It is an old bridge across the Aramid River, a key crossing between Alliance and Empire territory. Acheron controls the land on the northern side. Controlling such an essential location gives him quite a bit of clout, which he is ever so eager to deploy toward the purpose of stirring up trouble. This time, he is dredging up an old border dispute that was supposed to be settled some time ago. He has even begun to dispatch military force. It is best we rout his troops before they cause any damage to the surrounding villages. To my father, Acheron is insignificant in the face of far more pressing political matters. Other houses wield far greater power and influence. Goneril, Ordelia, Edmund, and of course Regan. To make his voice heard at the Round Table conferences, my father must keep up relations with them. That is simply the way the Leicester Alliance works. It was, after all, founded with the goal of freedom from Fargus. We prize that independence highly, even if it occasionally hinders cooperation. There is often talk of mutual aid, but the truth is that each noble acts to maximize personal benefit. At the moment, the Regan dukedom is in no state to keep those conflicting motivations in check. So while the Alliance may appear to be at peace, the reality is that internal conflict is a routine matter. Of course, this leaves me precious little time to sit back and enjoy a cup of tea. Alas, I must be off. Since you're here, perhaps you would care to accompany me on this little errand? I have no fear of Acheron, but it could be valuable for you to experience these political nuances firsthand. Though I have left the Golden Deer House behind, the fate of the Alliance will nevertheless rest upon my shoulders someday. It is important to me that those I deal with understand its workings. What say you to broadening your horizons? Excellent. Let us be away at once. I shall leave the finer details of preparation in your capable hands.